Our webinar series is brought to you by our partners at CC. Two Ticks. Costume Gallery. Headliners. Hi everybody, welcome again to the Dance Life Retreat Center. We've kind of camped out on the porch here to do this seminar. These are my notes in front of me to keep me in order. When it comes to marketing or building enrollment, which I'm gonna kind of mix together in this presentation, I could go on probably for 2 days on what I've learned and what I know about marketing at dance school. So I'm going to summarize today a philosophy and give you some samples of marketing that I would use and why I would use it. And then talk about some social media and some other ways to market and promote your school and build your enrollment. But know that I'm giving you a summary of a philosophy. Hopefully we'll be able to do more seminars where we can even be more specific and get into particular areas a little deeper. So, with that said, here's some general marketing concepts that I know that I keep in the back of my head when I'm thinking about how I'm going to market, when I'm going to market, what I'm going to market. It takes 13 times for somebody to see a logo or a symbol or something that brands you before it registers in their mind. So I always say to people, don't try to have the biggest ad or the biggest space. Try to be marketing consistently smaller so that you're getting in front of your audience or potential clientele many times compared to spending a huge budget to make one or two big splashes. So in the old days, we would have talked about print advertising, and I'll use that scenario here. We have a train going by. So let's say it's print advertising. Instead of taking a full page ad, I'd take 10 much smaller ads and make sure that I was in there on different days of the week and making sure that that logo got seen as many times. So you want to make sure that you're out there all the time. So that also means that I'm not just marketing during registration. I'm thinking about promotion, building that enrollment throughout the whole season. I think one of the big mistakes that school owners can make is to go hog wild 2 weeks before registration and believing that that is going to pull in the number that you set for a goal of students. I think it comes over a period of time and people becoming familiar with your brand and your product. So this is what I mean by that. I may see that ad that's smaller that you're running 10 times and not have a child that's the right age to dance. But because I see your ads consistently, when my 4-year-old says, "Mommy, I want to be a ballerina, I want to dance," I will actually have become so familiar with your logo and your presence in my mind that you're going to be the first person that I think about bringing my child to. So think of your marketing as you're consistently building it. You're consistently building the brand, consistently building the reputation. So let's get a couple of honest things right out of the way here at the beginning. Know that the school that proclaims that they are the most professional or wins the most awards can actually be a deterrent for your market. And you say, well, that's what makes our school so good. Understand that that big commitment, what it takes to be a competitive dancer or in the Nutcracker or whatever it is that your intensive program that makes your dancers so awesome, looks like a big commitment to parents. Looks like it's expensive. And when I say commitment, know that most parents don't picture that they'll be going to a dance studio 2 or 3 days a week. They're looking for something else. So this is what I believe happens. That mom knows you're the best school, but she takes her daughter to Mary Jane and she says, if my daughter really likes this, then I'll take her there. So I kind of look at it as we pull back on the winning, we're the best. In a minute, I'll talk about why you just shouldn't say you're the best. But pull back on all of that and start to promote the benefits of dance for every child, no matter what skill level. My words that I use a lot are become the neighborhood dance studio. Don't try to be the most professional studio. You want to be a part of your community. You want to be a part of your small town that's proud of having your studio in that community. So why do I say don't tell people you're the best? I believe that if you really are the best, then you don't have to tell people. Because all the people who think you're the best are telling everyone you're the best. When you perceive or think, okay, we're the best, and you put that in print, that's based on your assumption of who you are. Know that Susie's mom loves Mary Jane's school because Mary Jane hugs and kisses every child as they walk in the door every week, and she loves that part, and her daughter just loves Miss Mary Jane, so she thinks that school is the best. You know, somebody else could love a school because they put on awesome recitals and they don't want to be a part of all this other stuff, and they love bringing their family to the recital, and this whole thing is about family to them, and they think that school is the best. So this determining who's the best and what is good dance is individual. And you sell what you're good at, which we'll get into a little bit more. So, my page is doing some funny things here. Hang on one second. I got to say one more thing related to that. Don't have any negative or ego going on when you're creating marketing and advertising. And what do I mean? Don't slam other schools and say they do this, but we do it better because we do this. Know that everything negative that is in an ad or is in marketing, subliminally, even if they don't see it immediately in viewing your ad, that negativity is subliminally going into their mind. And so maybe they're never going to register their child in dance, but because they consistently see your ads that have this negative approach to all the other schools, their perception of dance class and dance in general is negative. And we created it because we need to slam some other school. I kind of look at it as I wear blinders and know where I want to go with my school and what I want to accomplish with my school. And that one up the street, even though she's 5 blocks from me, I'm not going to worry about her. I'm not going to market against her. I'm going to market and tell people what it is that I do and what it is that I have to offer. And never ever express any negativity. I think a lot of time and energy and dollars are spent are going after schools, ongoing after schools, and I don't think it's productive. And I want to say this one last thing about it. When you market and you're marketing for other schools' students, and you'd like to pull students from that school, know that the majority of students that will come from that school, if they come, are going to be people who weren't loyal to the school that they're coming from. They're probably going to be the people who are negative in that place. So when it comes to an objective of building your enrollment, build them from 3 years old up and forget about pulling kids who are already dancing in other places. Let them stay where they are, and you keep your atmosphere and your community the way you built it, and these strangers don't come in and change it. So you'd say maybe next, well, who is my market? I say our market is moms and dads and grandparents too, but mostly moms of 4 to 12-year-old kids. And if you ask me to even narrow that down further, I'd say 4 to 10. I think that's the time to grab them. I think that makes it so that if they enjoy dance, they're with you for a decade or more. And that it's the younger clientele or the preschool programs and the once-a-week kid who takes a combo class. That's the enrollment that we need to be marketing for. While I say that to you, I feel like I'm leaving something out that isn't even on here. Know that if your marketing and your promotion is focused on the most advanced dancers and how awesome that they are, that there's very few of them that are going to come to your school. But if your marketing is focused on the joy of dance and there's this preschool class loving being in the classroom and you post a picture, everybody's going to say, my kid can do that. So I kind of really want to reiterate that it isn't about the more advanced kids, the intensive kids, is the artist side of who we are. In order to afford the artist side, we have to have a good preschool and recreational side. Okay, so children who are new to dance know that the majority have no idea what a beautiful arabesque is. They'll never walk in and say to you, when will my daughter do a triple pirouette? None of those things will be of concern to the people that you're trying to bring into your school. Most people picture a once-a-week dance lesson and a tutu or a costume and a recital at the end of the year. That is all our market is searching for at the beginning. So I believe that is what we should sell them. So more on what we're selling, because I'm not sure that we all realize it. We could talk about the steps, we could talk about great choreography, we could talk about building strong dancers, but these are words that I think really work well in marketing and telling the public what dance does beyond the steps. We're developing kids who have an appreciation for the arts. We're building motor skills. We have a compassionate faculty. We work age appropriately. We create good thinking skills for kids. The list goes on and on. So when it comes to what I think we should be telling people that are the benefits of dance. It's these things. It's the characteristics. It's the person that it builds. It's building focus. It's giving a child a chance to explore enrich learning, enhance concentration, discipline. Parents love to think about their kids learning what discipline is. Those are the things that you are selling. And believe it or not, 1% of your students may move on to some sort of a dance career. So it's really cool when they get all of these things that we were talking about out of their dance education, because you're having an impact for the rest of your students' lives. Another thing that I really believe helps success is to be different from what's out there. And know what I mean by be different. Be who you are. Know that people are attracted to a school because of the personality of the school. So that means the owner has a personality. It trickles down to faculty and staff, and then it trickles down to the clientele, the parents, the kids, etc. So I kind of look at this as I have my own personality. I don't look up the street and see that she offers ballroom dancing, so now I'm going to offer ballroom dancing because I have to keep up with her. Maybe I offer Pilates and she doesn't. I kind of think that sometimes we look at other people's schools, the way they do things, we perceive that they're a success, maybe even that they're more happy than we are, so we go for their model. I say go for the model that's inside of you, the kind of school that you want to run. What are you good at? What makes you unique in your community, rather than falling in line with what everybody else offers and then hoping they come to you instead of the other person? So you have to ask yourself some questions, and what the first question that I think of is, what gets the most raves at your school, or what part of your clientele is constantly saying they love this place or they love their teachers? And you might discover that it's the 7 to 9 year old group. You might discover that it's the adult programs that you have in your studio. You might discover it's that hip-hop teacher that you brought in and you thought it wasn't going to work. And know what your clientele is liking about you. So let's say that they love your 7 to 9 year olds is your biggest age group, and it's where you generate the most income. What does that mean to me? That means that I need to be thinking about Thursday, where I'm running all of these classes that have 3 and 4 kids in them, because I feel like I have to have that class because I got to compete with that school up the street. But reality is, maybe Thursday should be dedicated to more 7 to 9 year olds. And then you find your niche, and they all become 10 to 12 year olds, and they all become 13 year olds and stay with you till they're 18. Know who you are and what you do best, and have confidence in that. Know that it's okay to be different from the other people, and it's okay to be a different kind of teacher and have a different kind of philosophy. People who have that in their gut will be attracted to you. So always be thinking about what it is that you offer, and when you're marketing, think about promoting what you offer that's your best thing, and that's what you should promote. So let's go to a couple of places that I think are important. Know that your website is your, I call it your 24-hour brochure. In the old days, people used to call up and leave us their, they still do, by the way, but the majority of them in the old days would call up and you'd write their name and address down, and you'd send them the brochure. I look at the website as dad who has a 4-year-old little girl or little boy who says they've always wanted to dance and he knows nothing about it. He's going on your 24-hour brochure at 12:30 at night. And that most of the people who are coming to your website are novices who know nothing about dance. They're actually maybe even a little intimidated to give you a call because they know so little that their first place that they're going to go check on this thing is that website. So now I'm the dad of the 4-year-olds, and I'm trying to find on your website your details about preschool dance and what you offer and what the benefits are and what cool things dance will bring into my daughter's life. But when I arrive at your website, I see these kids holding trophies. I see these advanced dancers doing grand jetés. So I start looking around the site. And I can't find, or the homepage, and I can't find anything on preschool dance. So I go above, up at the top, and I start looking at my options, and I click schedules, and I see a couple of preschool dance schedules, but I see advanced this and advanced that and competition rehearsal and all of that, and I keep looking. And then finally, I find one paragraph on preschool dance. I have to say that I'm going to keep looking until somebody tells me more about preschool dance. So, I look at the website like this. You arrive at my homepage. Now I'm thinking parents, novice, arrive, and here's an icon to click that's about 3 to 6-year-old dance, or programs offered to 3 to 6, programs offered to 7 to 9, programs offered to 10 to 12, hip-hop. Over here at the end would be about our intensive or advanced program because I don't want to scare anybody off. That homepage would have little kids. I always say it like this: a black kid, a white kid, an Asian kid, a pink kid, a green kid at the ballet bar with big smiles on their face, probably 4, 5, 6, couple of them missing their front teeth, and they're just loving being in the studio. That's what should be there to greet the novice person who knows nothing about dance. It's so important to know that. It's the ego inside of us, and I get it. I've had it too in my lifetime, that makes us want to put all those accolades up front. If you're a business person, you can separate the two. And you're confident enough that you don't have to keep putting this successful intensive program out there because it works. Everybody knows you're really good at it that needs to know you're really good at it. But again, you can afford it because you have such a successful rec program. So another thing is make it easy to navigate the website. Do give a nice explanation of what dance offers to that particular age. Do give a nice explanation of why your teachers are so passionate about this age and why the school is so excited to welcome new students of this age. But do it quick, brief, use the words that trigger parents, some of the ones I used earlier, what they're looking for in the developmental part of their child's life, the characteristics of their child's life. I'm going off script, but I'll tell you something that has had an impact on me. I feel that martial arts is a great example of what we should be doing when it comes to marketing, because you go to martial arts schools, you go to their website, you see their Facebook posts. It's always about building good characteristics in children. They don't say things like your daughter will be able to kick the neighbor in the face and protect herself. That's all beside the point. It's all about developing good character and good morals and all that good stuff in your child, and that's why they should do martial arts. I believe that applies to dance. For sure. I know it applies. So let's go to social media in general. My notes start off by saying be professional. This is what I want to say about being professional. I believe we're a mentor, leader, teacher. And a mentor, leader, or teacher doesn't put on stage on their Facebook page that they had a bad day at the studio, or that this kid was troubling today, or I had a bad choreography session today. I kind of look at all of that and wait. I know some people are thinking, oh, well, I'm not friends with my students and stuff like that, so I can do it. I want to tell you that your students, other people, find that stuff online. There's no way to keep it, and it's there for the rest of however long that page is out there in the world. So I always say this: if I'm having a bad day at the studio, I'm posting nothing on Facebook, and I'm not posting pictures of myself out drinking. I'm not posting pictures of anything that I think is inappropriate of a mentor, leader, teacher. And that's not because it's inappropriate. I don't want it to be perceived as inappropriate. Everything that we're putting out there on our public, for our public image, when you're a mentor, leader, teacher, it should always reflect that, and really nothing else. So I was talking about the personal page. I would then go to saying one of the best marketing tools that I know of right now, and this could change in a year, is a business Facebook page for your studio. I think it creates good interaction with your clientele. I think it can be a way to build business and build that enrollment, because when somebody likes your page, then they're kind of stuck with you in their news feed for as long as they've liked your page. So they could have liked it because they were interested in dance lessons. They could have liked it because their niece's picture was on your page. You're building followers who are learning your brand, who might be sitting in the living room with a neighbor, and the neighbor says, my son or daughter wants to dance and I don't know who to take him to. And because they liked your page and they see this really cool stuff, they don't even know you. Their niece dances with you. They recommend you because they've learned to respect you, and they know your personality by what you're putting out there. They know that you do it for the right reasons. So I like to put inspiring pictures up there. When it comes to pictures that I post, I'd say this. You have competition winners and really good dancers, post them. But for every one of those that you post, there should be some happy preschooler or some happy tap class in their sailor suits, and they're all 7 years old and they have a huge smile on their face. Because again, that website page could give the appearance of we're only into the most advanced kids. And here's a little side note. Just because we're filming this at a time that's the peak time of dance competition season, I'm not sure that it's a positive thing to start listing the name of the dance and what they won, and the name of this dance and what they won, and the name of this dance and what they won. No, everybody on that weekend was winning titaniums and high golds and all of those things. I think what we should put up there from the dance competition is a picture of our kids in the dressing room all helping each other, and some sort of statement or quote that says, I love my job, I love teaching kids, I love what dancing does, and here's the reason why. You're a group, you're a community. Don't make it only about what the kids won. I think that's important. There's some studio Facebook pages that are completely dedicated to the award-winning school, and I don't really think that it's attracting many 3-year-olds or 7-year-olds. So that's my philosophy when it comes to Facebook. Your posts go. I do like to promote posts. That's something that we get into in another webinar that will be on this same station. I believe in promoting posts. So for me, if you said to me, how much would you spend on promoting a post? I'd probably spend about $5, and then I really narrow in my statistics to stay into, let's say, a 20-mile radius. My demographics would be probably women, and I narrow it down maybe 22 to 40, and promote those posts or use Facebook ads and narrow down my demographic. I think that Facebook advertising some people may expect to do Facebook advertising and immediately they're going to sell product. I think Facebook advertising does sell product, does get inquiries, but it gets lots of people to like your Facebook page. And we talked about why that's so important. So get out there, be in front of your clientele and everybody else who is familiar with dance and young children by promoting your school. Let's now take a look at some marketing and advertising that has this philosophy that I'm talking about behind it. This first image, as you can see, totally simple. Cute little tap shoes here. Dance changes everything. I confidently put that in my ad because I know that it does. And you see this, looking for tiny dancers who are ready to fill these shoes. If you ask me what this was, I'd say this could be a Facebook post. This could be a postcard. I'm big into postcards, full color ones, things that will make it so that this piece of mail stands out. And as you can see with this picture that's here, this is a picture that will stand out. People will think that, what is this about? It's unique. It's a good representation of the wholesomeness of dance. Pink and purple and looks dancy and good old tap shoes, you know, the American rite of passage for every child. This could also be an ad that runs in a newspaper. If you ask me, do I do that or print advertising? I think it's a niche market, just like Dance Studio Life magazine reaches dance teachers and school owners. I think if you said to me, what should I be in when it comes to print magazine or print newspaper, it would be back to school publications. It would be anything that I could get myself into that's about kids' activities or kids' learning processes. So I want to say this because I think that there's a lot of people who sell marketing ideas who say the opposite. But I do this on a daily basis, on an annual basis, so I want this to be known out there. All advertising is not only the internet or online. When we do a conference, we promote the conference for a year in advance. For the first 6 months, we take in registration. Then it completely slows down. At that point, 20,000 brochures for the conference, full color brochures, go out. That's when the conference fills up. So I always say to people, now, I wouldn't run in a newspaper 10 times at this point. I don't think people are reading the newspaper. I think they're reading it online. I think they're reading niche publications. But I would still consider postcards. I still consider threefold brochures. But no, that it has to be impressive. Otherwise, it's just going to get tossed. And what does impressive mean? I think it needs to be full color. I think it needs to be professional looking. So I went off track there, but let's continue on with these sample ads. As you can see by this one, if this was a postcard, you'd say this little girl is adorable. And budding ballerinas are our specialty. There's probably several thousand budding ballerinas within your community, and they are who you should go for. And notice that I'm using words like magical, discovery, delight, happiness, joy, bliss. I'm not saying we'll make her a great dancer. I'm saying this is really cool and every child should experience dance. The first one, or the first sample that I showed you, didn't have the logo on it because I pulled these from all different places. Your logo should be on it, and notice that this logo is diverse and shows the little ballerina, the boy that looks a little hip-hoppy, and the more mature dancer with technique. Make sure that you have a cool logo. That's something that you need to invest in, and be unique with it, not generic. Do what it takes to make a really good one. My website is on here, my Facebook is on here, my telephone number is on here, the address. I'm trying to make sure, because this is a postcard, that I've covered all my bases. Moving on the ad. Hipper, cooler here. Hip-hoppy. Boy. I think that there is a market of parents that sees dance from this perspective of what this ad represents. So I make sure that I'm covering that group of people. Notice that I'm sharing all the different styles of dance, even though this looks a little hip-hoppy. And I'm saying that this weekday and Saturday classes, I'm not saying too much because it's the graphic that's going to sell the product, and I think I don't want to take away from it. Notice that there's a boy in here. I make sure that I use boys in my advertising so that people know that it's the norm for boys to dance. Again, the colors with the purples, they seem to work when it comes to good advertising for the dance studio. Okay, so this next one, her joy is our success. This is first of all, the picture is adorable. Diversity, combo classes. We're explaining what they're all about. I have no problem putting a price in an ad. I know that people don't want it on their website or whatever, but I would say that if we went to a website, if you went to Macy's, they're not making you call them to find out how much that blouse is. And the majority of other children's activities are not hiding the price. So I'm not hiding the price. If they're shopping and I'm too expensive, I keep marketing and I'll find people who can afford my price. So I went off there, but I want you to know that's my philosophy on that. Combo classes. They're designed to offer children and teens an opportunity to explore dance to its fullest. Ballet is the base technique and disciplines for all dance. Tap teaches rhythm skills and coordination, while the jazz class offers the freedom to explore hip-hop, funk, musical theater, and more. So, this is key in the state of dance. I try now, when it comes to jazz, to give an explanation of what jazz is, because I think the jazz is getting the rap of being old-fashioned. So I still call it jazz, but I give, just like I did here, a description that includes what I call the keywords that parents may be looking for our kids, which would be the hip-hop, the freedom to explore, funk. I'm expanding what jazz is because I want them to realize that it incorporates what they think is cool. This is a older ad that I just keep bringing with me when I show samples because it's a successful ad. This is black and white, so this could run in a newspaper or whatever. But wanted budding ballerinas age 3 and up. There's my logo. Very simple. This could be a Facebook page. Know that this could be a business card. This could be a referral card. So now on the back of I've given 10 of these to each dancer in my school, and they're distributing them with their name on the back. And here's these cool referral cards that are going around my community. So when I'm showing you these samples, don't think of them as an ad only or a Facebook post only. Expand your horizons on the possibilities of how you can use things. Every one of these would be social media, for sure. Here's another adorable one that I'd run at registration, especially maybe with the tagline above on a Facebook post that says, "We're filling up fast. She's another lucky child who has dance in her life." I like to use black backgrounds sometimes. I think it makes things stand out. I think black and purple look good together. I think this little girl is adorable and happy. So moving on, another black and white ad. I like this because this graphic shows this girl with her jazz shoes, her tap shoes. I think that some ballet shoes there. So she's obviously diverse. She's happy, she's confident, she's mature, and she's a teenager. So most parents have teenagers who are not so mature, not so confident. And so here's me saying, hey, maybe dance is an opportunity to build these characteristics in your child. This one right here, I'm going to tell you, is the most shared ad I've ever created. So when I say that, it means I put it on Facebook, and I put it up there to sell dance. But so many people think it's adorable that grandmothers share it with each other, and neighbors share it with the grandmother who put it on her page. And it has ABC School of Dance on it, so everybody is seeing this. I think that way when I'm looking for graphics and things to put up on Facebook. What's this totally unique thing? I'll show you one more here that this is a little boy. He's got on the headphones, and we're taking a take on apps, and here we are. We've got a class for that, and I'm using this adorable boy. Plenty of preschool dance options for boys and girls. And again, it's eye-catching. It's going to make it so that somebody reads what's there. So, a couple things that I think are important about the posts. You probably looking at this and saying, where's he getting the pictures, or are those his students? This is how I feel. Coming from a magazine place and a marketing place, I know that clean backgrounds, clean ads work the best. So I say, by all means, use your own students in your ads. But they shouldn't be too busy. You should look at a picture and there should be a right-hand side or a left-hand side or the top or the bottom of this ad where text will go nicely. Otherwise, the majority of pictures that you see here are coming from stock photo companies. You go online, type in stock photos, you'll see many. I think the majority of these reflected in these samples are from iStock, but there's dollar photo. Once you start looking, you'll see all kinds of options. So if you worry about not being able to take a picture, not being able to get a good picture, go for the stock options. Find people that represent what it is you teach and look like the kids you teach, and you'll find some really good graphics there. If you said to me, how often should you advertise something in a post, I'd say put up 2-3 posts that are inspiring, newsworthy, picture of today's tap class, and then you could sell something. So make sure that there are, I'd say 75-25. And know that when I say sell something, it shouldn't be a direct sell. It should be, here's this cool new program that we're offering, represented by a cool picture for that program, and, to click the website to get more information. Don't tell people to buy now all the time or that this deal won't last. Most people see through that and don't act on it the way that we're told that they do by marketing experts. So I have an hour today, and I think I'm already to a point where I've used most of it. But I have a couple more things that I want to make sure that we say. So now you have your students, and it's the end of the season. There aren't many businesses out there that say goodbye to their clientele and we hope you'll come back to our business again in 3 months. I look at it as you're my clientele, you're valuable to me through this whole time period that we're not seeing each other every week. So I like to schedule like every other week, if you really have it together, every week, because you're talking about an 8-week recess where my students would get some sort of a postcard. We'd be announcing some things that are going on next week. It could be an email blast, but we're connected to our clientele throughout the entire summer. Some other things, if you have new faculty, you could announce that, new programs or classes. You could tell the kids how much you miss them. There's all kinds of ways to stay in touch, and know this. An email is great, an email blast is great. But if the studio owner actually sat down and sent a handwritten card to every student, that card would get saved for the rest of the kid's life. So I look at that and I say, it's worth the time to do 150 cards while I sit by the pool and enjoy my summer break. And the reason I can sit by the pool and enjoy my summer break are all these people that I'm sending these cards to. That personal touch is really important. I know a lot of us are at the time in the season right now where we're preparing for our shows. Make sure, but there's still enough time to do this, I believe. Make sure that you're pre-registering all of your current clientele, that they're not leaving and they have to go through the whole registration process. You have to call them on the phone, ask them if they're coming back. Do everything you can to pre-register your students. Now, you could always use the promotion that it holds your place in class, which a lot of teachers say to parents to get them to pre-register. But I kind of say this. I'm going to give them some sort of a deal. Here are some things that come to mind. Maybe they're going to get 50% off their registration fee if they register by May 1st. Maybe they're going to get half off their last month. Notice I said last month tuition for the following year if they register by May 1st. Maybe they're going to get a $20 coupon for the dancewear that I sell if they register by May 1st. So bottom line to that is I'm giving, especially if I haven't held pre-registration before. If everybody's gotten into the classes that they registered in before, then it's hard to say this holds your place in class. But letting them say what a deal will probably be a good incentive to begin that pre-registration if you don't do it. I guess I got an email there. So let's summarize real fast. This is what I think we're not doing. We're not, when it comes to marketing or building enrollment, we're not focused on putting someone else out of business. We're not checking out the school up the street at 11 o'clock at night. If we're up at 11 o'clock at night and we have the energy to do something, we're creating a new program for our school or a new ad. We're not judging or gossiping about other people in our field because we're too busy to do that because we're building a business, and that takes priority. And know that we need to always remember that it's not the most advanced kids that should get the most attention if we're trying to build a business that is an income-generating business. Now, there could be people who are watching this that are an exception. There are exceptions. Much tougher, though, to build income-generating business that you're satisfied with if everything is about the most advanced kids. And here we go. What are we ending this that we should be doing and should be focusing on? What's our own unique niche? What are we going to bring to the marketplace that will be different or that we're the best at? It doesn't have to be different. And once we discover what we're the best at, that's where we should learn more. That's something we should learn more about, becoming better at, because that's the thing that's going to make our school grow. Treating all students equal. Okay, so this is really, really important. I go into a class, and I am teaching advanced kids. And then that's on Tuesday, and Thursday I go in and I teach the rec 7-year-old kids a combo of tap and jazz. Know that you have to be just as enthusiastic for both levels of kids and both groups of kids. Your creativity with the choreography has to be equal on both. Don't make it so that those preschool kids or recreational kids feel like they're second-class citizens. Our creativity, our focus needs to be on them just as much as any other sector of our school. And think about analyzing your numbers. I know that you guys are saying, I'm a dance teacher, I'm not an accountant. Sit down someday with your, I guess it would be your studio software program, and query things like, what days do we bring in the most income? What hours do we bring in the most income? What teachers retain the most students through a season? All of these numbers can help you to plan how you're going to market, how you're going to make your school grow. And a long time ago, you made a decision that you were going to open this dance school. I did the same thing, and I thought it was going to be about dance. But really, it's about dance, and then there's this other whole side that's about really smart business. And don't feel like you have to be brilliant or that you have to have a degree to be smart in business. Take the creativity and the energy that you have on the inside that you apply to the classroom, or you apply to how you teach or choreograph, and apply it to your marketing, apply it to your advertising. Be creative, be different, be unique. Do things that people would never expect. Make it so that in your community, your school name will be the automatic thing that comes out of your community's mouths when dance gets brought up. I believe we can do that, and I believe that's what success is all about. Have a good day. Enjoy the journey.